Meeting to order and we do the pledge to the flag at 7:13. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the record, meeting to order at the Scary Act, two, so in the meeting, and the first thing is the financial, well, the public too. See, I see none public, no one is in the key. That's all I can close the public portion. We'll go to David, so you could do the financial report, please.
All right, so I will upload the financial report to the shared drive on board. Drive, so I can get it up there until basically all walk through. We are very close to being completely closed for 2021. I'm struggling all day long, 2021 and 2022. Straight. For some reason, this is a little weird. So, for 2021, we are estimating a year-end balance of $38,468, meaning that we budgeted, or the district budgeted, very, very close to what the actual expenses were, which is great. And that's where you want to be. A small amount left over. That is taking into account all the title grants, all the DEA grants, all the ESSER grants. We definitely had some variances in the budget. Certified staff and came in very within 84,000. Budgeted, non-service hire. That was not unexpected given kind of that unusual year we had. Honestly, having $40,000 and $38,000 left over in a crazy year like that, it's really actually kind of impressive. Because when you have an unusual year like the year which went on, I mean, you can think back 6 or 9 months where we were, what was happening. So in the budget, my understanding was back even before the pandemic kind of came full circle. To be even remotely close to are way high and way low. So you should be proud of yourself and the staff that you have here. There was a substantial savings in employee benefits of health insurance, which is good. But then we were over on some other areas like outside tuition, which is, again, those are things you can't really control all that much. So, you know, from a financial perspective, those are places that you can say this is where we are today, but the next day you don't know. You might go the other direction. So, always just in the forecast. So, specific questions. I did through all the salaries over the last month or so, which I know was a question in the past. So we feel pretty good about this. I am meeting with Doug over at the town later this week or early next week just to reconcile and make sure we're all on the same page. Conversation this morning. One thing I should note in this report, which is there is some money from the town that's owed to us for positions that were on our event side last year. So we talked about that today too. So that is reflected in these numbers. I know it's not good for it, so I'm not terribly worried about it. And we had that conversation today. So from that perspective, I think we're pretty good shape. Any specific questions about anything in your line item wise?
Could you just clarify what the balance column is?
Sure. So what you have is a budget, which is what you adopted as a board. Your year to date, and so a budget minus your year to date is actually your balance. And then you get something called an encumbrance, which is an obligation you committed to in that next year.
And I don't see how the math works.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, that was my question.
No, that's a good question. Let me just double check. That balance does not seem correct. does not seem correct. The encumbrance column and budget balance column is correct. So what it essentially says is budget minus your year-to-date minus your encumbrance equals your budget balance. I don't know what, yeah, the balance column must, I don't know why. There's no for that column. So as far as I'm going to go away, and maybe the balance for the month. It won't have an impact on your year number. All right. Good question. Good deal.
And my only other question was regarding transportation. You mentioned there's a credit, and where did that?
It would be extra. It would be going to transportation or other education.
Showing that.
But that includes, well, the transportation as a whole is $8,000. So things like, especially at local and way over budget, and especially at non-local, it's way under budget.
Right, so do you know where the credits are?
I don't know the exact number, but I will call it. And the credit is netted off your expense. So it won't be from revenue, it would be, instead of saying $100 on a bill, you would show $100 paid, less $10 credit. Or that makes sense, but I will.
I would just think it would show up as wasn't expended, it would be showing as credit in one of the transportation line. Right?
I'll get the exact number.
And where did that come from? That credit, where, that was just because of.
It was from All-Star, credit from All-Star.
Okay, and I assume that was tied into less sporting events, stuff like that.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Less sporting events would be a credit, it would just be, you know, be invoiced for those sporting events. A credit would have been for remote day, stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha, okay. Because the reason I said sports was they usually build in X number of trips.
They
It's
did.
not a normal year, but obviously this was a non-normal year with less sporting events.
And where you'll see that is as well as you're absolutely correct. You do budget for based on historical use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sports and all the one-offs they believe for per trip.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Last trips too. Mhm. Beth, you're all set?
Yeah, my only other question was
Go
on
ahead.
utilities in terms of electricity, there's a large, is that a result of less usage, or was that, I know there's a contract with Johnson Controls. I know that's. been
It's
mentioned.
less usage, the contract with Johnson Control really didn't kick in until I believe before that was finalized. In a year, but it was delayed for a period of time. It
Right.
was recently turned on, so the savings weren't really realized in this year because of that, other than just not being, you know, like turned on or building nothing. That's really
So we don't know, we still don't know constant control, bottom line savings.
Well, I believe there's a pretty specific contract. Yeah, talking about what guaranteed savings. I think it's a fairly long one.
Yes, yeah.
20 years.
but it's long, yeah.
So now, I mean, in theory, you're gonna have.
Oh,
Savings.
yeah.
Well, I think it's contracted too. So.
Yeah, I know, there was some kind of guarantee, yeah.
But I wasn't part of that conversation.
No, I'm sure you weren't. I'm sure you weren't. You're all set? Okay. So then we can just, since the chairman is not here, there's no chairman report or finance committee. So, but as the acting chair, I'll look for a motion to approve the report.
Sure, I'll make a motion for the full board, the approval of the financial management summary ending June 30, 2021.
Okay, I will second that motion. All right, any discussion? None? All those in favor? Aye. Passes 2-0. The acting chair will ask for a motion to adjourn. Oh, anything from the superintendent?
No report. All right, thank you, adjourn.
Okay, second. Okay.
Aye.
Finance committee meeting is ended.
There. Good.
Word.
Okay. Megan Krasinski, President of the Seymour Education Association.
Amiga, I'm gonna ask you to take this off.
Sure.
Your part.
Okay. All right. Good evening, Board of Education members. On behalf of the staff of Seymour Public Schools, we would like to extend a heartfelt thank you for the surprise gift cards at the end of the school year. The personal touch of Mr. Stramello and Mr. Hatfield visiting each school to hand them out really made the staff feel appreciated and connected to the Board of Ed. We are certain that being a school board member during the COVID crisis entailed more than any of you ever bargained for when you initially had the idea to run for the school board. That being said, with your strong leadership and decision-making through the COVID challenges, along with your celebrations when we figured things out, we are fortunate to have such a dedicated group of people leading our school district. Thank you all for your commitment to the staff, our students, our community, and for your support of our mission to continually improve the education system for our students. I have to mention that as Mr. Stramello and Mr. Hatfield were leaving, I joked with them, telling them that they made the right decision. While I do enjoy the occasional Starbucks, I am definitely Team Duncan. In all seriousness, the staff sincerely thanks you for your continued support, and we look forward to our continued partnership as we hopefully return to a closer to normal school year. Thank you, everyone, and have a great summer.
Anyone else? Okay. We'll move on to the consent agenda with the board pleasure.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Peter, Chris, second.
No, we have to remove A2.
You want to remove A2?
Yeah, it's just the agenda, not the minutes.
Okay. All right. So we will, if you want to adjust the motion to say, approve the consent agenda minus A2.
Motion to approve the consent agenda with removal of A2. Second.
Seconded by Chris. Any discussion needed? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tonight. Okay. Now we move on, move on to item removed from the consent agenda, Mr. Champagne.
Yeah, just that June 22nd was just the agenda, so. Have potential minutes and agenda.
Okay, do you want to revise that to say special board of ed agenda for A2, and then we vote on that?
No, I think we have to table that to the next meeting,
Okay,
so we'll table.
so you made a motion to table it to the August meeting. Okay, so that's a motion you made. Seconded. Everyone understand the motion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstain. Okay. Moving now to the next thing, right? Okay. And as a motion for consideration, okay, from the interim superintendent, director of special service, Dr. Woods, create new instructional paraprofessional for the 2021-2022 school year. Where's the board's pleasure? The board's pleasure. Motion made by Peter. Second to the motion.
I will second the motion.
And second the motion, discussion. Yes, ma'am.
Can we get some description of the position, if it's budgeted, is any additional information?
Well, it's a paraprofessional position, so it's a paraprofessional position. No, it's a new, create a new instructional paraprofessional. Mr. Penny.
Sure. So Dr. Boyle and I, starting in late April or May, began to review with each administrator at their building level, their paraprofessional schedules for the following school year, next school year. And in doing so, Chapman Cresty, Bundy, and the middle school are appropriately staffed with paraprofessional positions for student needs. At the high school, it's Dr. Boyle's opinion, and they looked carefully, and I absolutely agree that this year we're going to require an additional paraprofessional position for the high school, and it's actually for a very exciting reason. Our vocational transitional program is growing. So for next year, we will actually have students at 2 work sites instead of just 1. This current year, we had 2 students, 1 work site, 1 paraprofessional there supporting the students. We're going to have 6 or more students, which actually we divide into 2 work sites. So we now need really another paraprofessional to support each work site. That's why it's a new position. And we look to see if there was a way to piecemeal people from the other buildings, and there really is not. So that's the major reason for the request. Dr. Will, provide the information.
So
Yes,
this isn't just creating a job description, this is just +1.
Correct, and grow. The program has grown, which is a good thing for our students.
We definitely sound like this position is needed and justified. I guess my worry is over the past 3+ years, we've just continued to grow our pool of paraprofessionals. And I don't know that we've ever taken a step back to ensure that it's really effective. I mean, certainly it's paraprofessional for all classroom that no one has students and it makes sense. But a lot of times our paraprofessionals can work one-on-one with students. And it never seems like we're able to reduce the number of paraprofessionals. I know it's because our special education population still grows, but at some point I'd love to just take a step back and look at the trend line of how that professional pool has grown. And what we can make sure that we don't just, let's have another. So not something for tonight, but just something longer term.
We are, Carmen,
go ahead.
we have been watching that and listening to board concerns over the last few years. And actually 2 years ago, Dr. Boyle and I started to work very closely with the assistant principals who do most of the scheduling at the middle level for paraprofessionals. We started to work with the assistant principals very closely to monitor how that scheduling was done, what the student needs were, what the language was, going into the IEP at the very beginning steps, to make sure that we weren't necessarily providing one as it wasn't needed. And all along the way, we started to track that. So we were hoping by the end of a 2-year span to have a nice recommendation for our work. Unfortunately, at the very end of the first year, the coronavirus hit, and then this year, it continues. So we've been unable to conduct really the on-spot observations as well as feedback from teachers and parents and watching student data to see. So we have been looking at it for the past 2 years, it's just that the past 2 years haven't been the most conducive to that. And at the same time, we would tell you that our paraprofessionals have tremendously stepped up to the plate and done incredible amounts of learning on technology and platforms. And I think we're very proud to help our students in ways they've never been able to help them before. But we have been watching that, and we will continue to. Thank you.
Other questions? Yes, Mrs. Bloom.
I guess I would ask, what is the budget impact of this position, and is it something that would be eligible for cost sharing, access cost reimbursement?
The paraprofessional position would not. The paraprofessional positions typically start about 15 to 26 an hour. So it's about $20,000 a year, depending on where they fall on that. And I think the question, and it's a good question, I have discussed a lot about paraprofessionals in general. If you're able to, and I'm not just familiar with this particular, but if you're able to hire paraprofessionals in the district, in general, that would be a huge cost saving for the district and how those things would be easy. Excess cost doesn't really step in until it's 4.5 times the average person cost. And then even at that, it's only 7% of the overage of that. So if your person costs $20,000, 4.5 times 90, and say it's calculation is 100, it's 70% of that $10,000, $7,000. So the cost of a para, if you're able to just minimize those outputs, that's money inside. Even though it looks like personnel is rising, it's not only is it better for the student, but it's better for the student. Not as familiar with this particular situation. That in general, that's my thoughts, at least a paraprofessional and outputs. I mean, I grew up with 1,000 paraprofessionals and helping students.
So just one more question.
Go ahead.
So the community program, the work site, so we're thinking 3 kids per site,
Yes, we're trying to, yes, level it up.
and that's appropriate for the level of support that they.
Any other question? We have a motion, second on the floor, if there's no question. Pass unanimously. Opposed? Okay, moving right along to checking accounts. Mr. Board, it seem like that they're, I hate to use the word no-brainer, but it seems to me to be no-brainer, so it's more question. Chairman? Yes.
I move to approve the removal of Michael Wilson as a signer on all Liberty bank account and all Webster bank account due to his resignation.
Second to that motion? Second by Mr. Champagne. Any discussion needed?
Those are the only 2 that we have. Or any,
This is
any.
as far as I know.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm sorry, I believe that's correct. Okay, very good.
That's it.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Any discussion needed? All those in favor? Opposed? Passes unanimously. Second?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Garfalo.
move to approve the addition of interim superintendent Von Tenza as a signer on all Liberty bank accounts and all Webster bank accounts.
Second.
Second by Mr. Champagne. Any discussion on this motion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Okay. Moving along to the shared contracts in the town of Seymour. Okay, for board members' edification, I read in the paper that the town board of selectmen accepted these shared contracts at their last meeting. So we need to accept it also. It's been looked at by our lawyer also. And the town lawyer and our lawyer worked on this, so that's why it's here for us to approve. Who makes a motion, please?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
move to approve the shared service contract for the system-wide technology coordinator.
Second? Second by Mr. Garofalo. Any questions, further questions?
I don't really understand why we went this route, but I understand that it's, you know, the horses left the barn. But I'm a little bit worried about this statement, his work hours will be scheduled by the director of operations. So, I mean, that line alone seems to me that now his priority is the town and not the Board of Ed. So if you or anyone else can lessen that anxiety, because it clearly says his work hours will be scheduled by the director of operations.
Are you referring to the MOU?
Referring to number 4, work time schedule of the contract.
Oh.
What year MOU, or is this just the employment agreement?
We did reach out to our attorneys and
Both attorneys, as I said just 2 minutes ago, both attorneys looked at these contracts, town attorney and our board attorney, and assured us that this was appropriate.
Well, I mean, it's one thing for the contracts to be appropriate from a legal standpoint, it's another thing for it to be appropriate to make sure that our needs as a school district are met.
If I may, I agree with Krista, it's a policy decision of this board, but included, we feel that it threatens our good direction, supervision of the position. Which will have to be negotiated. I agree with Krista, it's a concern.
Okay, so what's your pleasure?
Can I just ask for clarification? I understand that we're trying to do this, but at our last meeting, we discussed an MOU, which I just heard mentioned, to talk to kind of alleviate some of these in terms of assignment of duties and things like that. What I'm looking at is an employment agreement, which is between the, you know, obviously per employment. I just was wondering if there's another document, or this would be the only thing.
This is the only thing.
this is the shared service agreement MOU to go by. It's the same thing with different names. And if there's language in there that you would like to change, this is the time to do it. We can absolutely go back to our attorney and say, there's lines in here that we don't agree with, or we want to modify that are in our best interest as a board of education. Because essentially what this is your agreement with, it's not the agreement with the employee works with the town. But it's your agreement with the town about the supervision of your employee, about the hours of your employee, about the relationship of that employee with the board of education.
So they do both have an employee agreement and there is a shared services document.
Right.
So I don't think we
I
have.
don't think we know. Because what I'm looking at, the only signatories are the employee and the person.
Right, it's not even anything for us to approve, but honestly, you don't play a role.
I'm sorry, I thought I didn't realize you have this copy. I thought this was circulated. There is an employee agreement that's between the employee and the employer. In this case, that would be between the employee and the town. Right.
Correct.
What we're talking about right now, I think this is where application needs to come in, which is the shared service agreement, which is between the board of education and the town, not with the employee, talking about how we want to utilize that information to work.
Lloyd had sent it to you and Jay, and I only sent it to you right now.
Is that MOU?
It's shared service agreement, MOU, yes, it is.
So that's different than what we want.
I
So
believe so.
we recess maybe and get copies of that?
I think Bob is sending it out
Would you like me to send it to you digitally? Okay,
Take a couple minutes to look at it.
sure.
Go ahead.
In the document that we received, if you look under benefits, sick time, just curious, it says 20 sick times of leave will be granted on July 1st of each fiscal year, directly paid for up to 10. And then in parentheses, it says 12 unused sick days following the close of the current fiscal year.
But you gotta remember, that's not.
Right, so essentially what's
Well,
happening
it's small, it's not pointing out. It says 10, parentheses, it
Oh,
says
I
12. It's pointing out that there's must be an error, I guess.
it may depend on the length of service, maybe for some time growth or time, maybe it's 10 or I don't know. But that is actually between the employer. There's an error.
Yeah, that's not.
That's a good point.
Sounds like there's.
These could actually be signed already for all of them, to be honest with you.
They probably will have to approve by the select.
I think that's a fair assumption. But I think it's in the board's best interest to reach a shared service agreement responded by the out with the town talking about utilization. Or part of these.
Yeah, we are.
Which is what we're talking.
We're paying
50-50 on the director of operations and 80-20 on the director.
No, we don't get to define our work hours.
Well, you can define their work hours in the shared service. So if you want to add that in here just for clarity, I should suggest you do that. So right now, it doesn't actually say how many hours are allocated to stuff. But we can say, you know, it's expected that you work for each of the application.
So why don't we table this to the next meeting, so we are, the lawyers talk.
Well, I mean, I think Chris already made a recommendation, just take a recess and do a compact discuss. Because if we table it to the next meeting, our lawyers don't really have anything to talk about right now.
Let's not forget. These, I'm not sure, how did their like HSA and stuff, who made the deposits? Was it?
So my understanding is that as of June 30th, they were no longer Board of Education employees, and July 1st, they were county employees. But based on this conversation tonight, I haven't done anything on our side, because I wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page, so there's benefit consideration, work side, town side, there's HSA considerations. It's fine, because what you'll do is you just screw that up at the end of the year, so if the board inadvertently introduces the agent at say in July, for an employee, what we'll do is we go to the town, or the town goes to pay us, we just lessen out of that, when we send an invoice or basic invoice. So that part is not too hard, I just want to make sure there's no great coverage for the employee, so we're not health insurance that the board and the town are paying the shared services, which is probably the most important part here, which is what's in front of you tonight. Okay, so if you want to take a minute and read through that and come back and we can discuss, you know, terms within the shared service agreement that the board is comfortable with, and we can close that to our attorney and work with the town to create a more defined shared service agreement.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
Maybe I missed something. You as a board release employees to the town? Release them as our employees?
I don't know if you did or not.
I believe
Tim's contract
ended.
ended June 30th. He did not have a contract, so he signed on
Okay.
July 1st.
Okay.
Rob Dyer was provided with, I believe, on July 1st. He was instructed to write a sentence saying that he would be switching from, I forget what his word was, but releasing the obligation for the final year of his contract with us, which carried him from 21 to 22, to open the contract with 21, 22 with the town side.
You never have that.
I don't have that. I don't know if you received that one.
But, in looking at the contract, do we know what changed? You know, what the contract they have with us versus them? Did they go from 5 sick days to 30 sick days? Did they go from 1 week's vacation to 5 weeks vacation? Is the benefits changing anyway?
That's correct.
I knew there were contracts.
I don't believe anything other than traditional cost of living salary increases changed. And the biggest change was on the benefits.
Right.
Doesn't sound like.
No, I remember this conversation last time. I remember really the biggest change or the most permanent change. It wasn't about because I began refunding.
It was.
And we talked about the compensation. She said essentially it's no change to the account cost of the board education cost for the employee other than what was scheduled to percent price increase. The biggest change was on the benefit side, or the town benefits are structured. They would be all pension. By going to the town side.
And on July 1st, I actually included Ed and Jay and our Lloyd and Rob on his saying simply that the legal counsel forwarded this contract is effective July 1st. Today, please review it, sign it, and the first one will sign it once it's complete. Please provide a signed copy to my office for records. Additionally, as your current contract has one additional year on it, you will need to submit a brief statement indicating that you are resigning or ending that position in order to enter into contract with the town of Seymour. But I don't.
Does anyone have access to the, Mr. Geiger's contract that he was with the school board, and did it define his work week as 35 hours?
Should be on the website.
And then the follow-up to that, are we sure that we will not be responsible for any overtime hours? Is he truly the center employee, or is he going to fall into that quasi category of being your salary or able to get overtime? Full-time salary. Scratch that one. That's just what they said.
This is the sheer.
If I may ask this,
Sure.
You can pass it down.
But this is the shared service. Is that the one you wanted or? Contract. Sentence. See, I'm reading that there is more explicit in the director of operations. It talks about in the event of a conflict between the town versus board priorities. The town director of operations and superintendent of schools should confer for the purpose of resolving any such conflict.
It says that.
It says that in both. So that's a good thing.
And when
yes, I agree, it's a good thing, but it still really concerns me that in his contract with the captain, it says his work hours will be scheduled by the director of operations. That means that we almost have to wait for a conflict to arise before anyone talks about the conflict. As opposed to it saying his work hours will be mutually scheduled by the director of operations and the superintendent of schools.
I think that's a reasonable caveat to enter into. The other thing on this agreement is the agreement from annually, unless by January 30th, any fiscal year, the party notifies in writing. So the nice thing about this is you can break it at the end of every year. So if it's just not going in the direction for bed after 6 months, you can actually terminate the shared service agreement, not pay your portion of that person's salary, and go hire your own person. So that's
The
all.
other side of that, town can do the same to us.
Would you restate that, please?
The agreement shall renew annually unless by January 31st of any given fiscal year, either party notifies the other in writing that we should terminate this agreement effective for the next fiscal year beginning the 1st of July of the performance certification. So yes, either party may terminate it. You can add that language as well. The problem with that though is if it's not mutually agreed upon, what happens? That's always. It's good that you have termination language in there.
I guess the shared service agreement does clearly say the director of information technology time will be 20% town, 80% board member. So even though the director of operations might be scheduling his time, it's clear that he needs to schedule him so he's 80% school and 20% town. So, I mean, I guess we're covered, but I was curious to know if the current contract said 35 hours.
It didn't have anything mentioned about it, so.
That's kind of an interesting new thing.
Well, I mean, honestly, there's many times that Rob or that particular person has stayed well into the night to take care of something. It's, I mean, it's
Aren't all town contracts 35 hours?
I don't know about contracts, I just know our contracts at that level. His expectation as a salaried employee is to stay until it's done.
Right, but now he has an employment contract that clearly says 35 hours, same for director of facilities.
But it's still an exempt position, and I think one of the conversations we had at the last meeting was, there's ebbs and flows with different organizations and different needs. So there's times of the year that the technology director may spend the entire month here with no commitment to the town, and there's other times that they may need to be in town for a week straight. So the whole point is hopefully that averages out over the year, that it's fair to both organizations, and that's really the onus is on the employees to make sure that that's done right. And if it's not, if we come back and say, listen, we're really only spending 50% of the time here, not 80%. So we can modify the shared services agreement if that meets the board best needs, or you can separate it and say, that doesn't meet our needs anymore. We want to hire our own person to meet our needs in a different capacity or whatnot. So that's kind of the advantage and disadvantage of any kind of shared contract. But knowing both individuals, I think they'll do a good job of both organizations.
It's just a very odd thing to have gone to a contract where you don't have any number of hours of your work specified, as is the case in all management and professional positions, quite frankly. And then you go to a contract that gives you that protection to only work 35 hours. So individuals who have that in their contract can say, sorry, I worked 45 hours last week. I don't know what their recourse is because they're exempt, but it's just, I
But
do it a lot.
the recourse for the board at all is severing contract.
I understand that, but that we don't want to do that. We
Absolutely.
like the two individuals. They did a wonderful job with us. And I understand that this, I mean, I missed the last meeting, so I don't want to take us down a road. It doesn't actually sound like conceptually this transfer from school board to town was discussed as a board. I'm going to hear from my colleagues, and there was a discussion about actually doing this, but this, of course, has left the barn. It's done.
I would like to think that both individuals are highly professional and really want to make this work, so my expectation is that they will.
So I'm lost a little track. Did someone make the motion?
Yes.
Because the motion is actually not what the motion should be, right? So it should be what percentage?
Yeah, take the motion. Okay, and Chris, remember how you,
Move to approve the shared contract.
okay,
So even though it's not linked correctly, we have it now.
Okay. All right, so the motion doesn't have to change.
Well, one agreement for both.
You're right.
here.
Yeah.
So.
Would you
Also,
want to-
right.
I think we're separate.
I think there should be.
No.
one.
What do you think?
Just one agreement.
No, we have on our agenda, we have motions for separating. Each of the positions are separate. Well, well, what I'm saying is our agenda says that,
So, and that's.
and your motion said for
Right,
just the
yeah.
first.
I'll make another, well, I'll rescind my motion and make another one.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I rescind my motion, are you good with that? I think you seconded.
Jim? Yeah.
So, all right, I move that. Get this right. I move to approve the shared contract of the facilities manager or director of information technology.
Come again?
I literally vote.
I don't think you have to, it's a shared services agreement, it's in the document. Shared services agreement,
So your motion would be, would you move to move forward with the shared service agreement with the town, unless there is revision to one.
Move to approve the shared services.
Agreements or agreement?
One.
One, okay. I want to make sure. Okay, and who's seconding that motion? I'll second. Okay, Jim seconded it. Any further discussion? Is everyone clear that we're making one motion now? Yeah,
No, I rescind.
he rescinded that first motion. We have to vote on a rescind motion?
No. Good. Motion to withdraw. Or was?
Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the floor by Chris, seconded by Jim, that approves the shared contract, shared services agreement with the town. With the town. Town, be specific. Okay, we all clear? Any further discussion? Go ahead.
Who's executing on
Who's executing what?
the agreement?
in terms of.
Superintendent.
Yeah, that is.
Well, the paper copy we have, that's. Right, right. All right, any other clarification, any other questions? Go ahead.
If we change it to shared services, how does that affect the language to it, the financial obligation?
I don't think I understand your question.
We approve the shared services, but we're not approving the shared contract. To me, those are two different things.
It's not a shared contract. Contract is with the employee and the town. What we're approving is to share that employee between the board and the town. In this shared service agreement, it talks about a percentage of how we're sharing with employees. So if an employee has $1, let's say $1,000 a year, and we're paying 80% of it, then that's what it is.
All right, so then the motion as it was originally written should not say shared contract. I just want to clarify.
Did we say shared contract or did we say?
Now, the motion that's on the agenda says to approve the shared contract.
Right,
That's not what we did.
no, no.
That's the
Wait,
one.
wait, right, too many people talking at one time, just wait a minute. The question came, and Chris changed this, Jim, from what's on the agenda to the shared service agreement. That was his motion.
I understand.
So that negates anything that's on the agenda. Because he made a different motion. And he rescinded the first motion. Mr. Parliamentarian, is that correct?
You know what we need to do?
Yeah.
We need to have a new agenda item and then make the motion, new agenda. Regarding approval of the shared service agreement. These two agendas, we have two sub-agenda items. C, talking about shared contracts with the town of Seymour. And we went down a new job. So I think we have to move to add, I think we should put the motion, withdraw the motion. Motion to add to the agenda. Consideration and discussion and approval and possible action regarding.
Mr. Chairman, I withdraw my motion.
Okay, thank you.
I move that I add an item to the agenda. Add to the agenda,
Discussion and
discussion and possible action, shared services agreement with the town.
Okay, who seconded the motion to add to the agenda?
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Stan seconds. Everyone clear now? Okay, any discussion needed? All those in favor of adding to the agenda? Okay, passes unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the shared service agreement between the Board of Ed and the town of Seymour.
Is there a second to that new motion? Second by Peter. Discussion.
Question, should we add to Chris's motion for whom the shared services apply? With a system-wide technology coordinator, should he be identified in that motion?
If I'm correct, it's the title, not the person.
It's position.
Yeah.
The position, the person may change.
All right. All set now? Everybody's clear now? Okay, any further discussion needed? All those in favor of the new motion? Please raise your hand. Anybody opposed? 1, 2, and anybody abstaining? Abstain. So that makes it 5, 2, 1 abstention. Okay, moving right along. Okay, we have the next is to approve the contract with the interim superintendent of school. What is the board's pleasure?
Move to approve the contract with interim superintendent of schools.
I will second the motion.
Second motion by Mr. Stanley. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, please raise your hand.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Under compensation, there's a salary listed, but it says TV.
Here's,
I believe that TV crossed out, that was by about 260 days. I don't get the vacation.
Okay, so TV, the thing up.
I was thinking the TBD could have referenced the number of days.
Maybe.
Can you be, can you be?
I think that's- Right.
Right. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? All those in favor of the contract? Raise your hand. Anybody opposed? Passes unanimously, 8-0. Okay, moving along, and Mr. Doherty indicated to me that the special education monthly enrollment update was not to be included because Mr. Doherty was talking about it. So we'll move on to the next update, the superintendent vacancy. As I believe we're all aware of, we are now down to 3 candidates. We have another candidate that we drew between our last time. We have 3 candidates, and we're starting the process, I should say, starting the process. We're beginning the process tomorrow and Wednesday with forums, interviews, tours, and so on. Any questions? Yes,
We've received a more detailed agenda and meeting locations, things like that.
so we did.
I saw one that had just lots of time, like have meet at bunk school or anything like that. Did I miss something?
We have room designations here that Bob sent to us.
Pat gave you rooms for the meetings here, not necessarily any tour order or anything, but she just emailed that to you and Jay and CC. Just
The tour details, is that what you're looking for?
I'm looking for robust, detailed agenda, what the day will entail, where people are meeting.
Everything is going to be here in this building, except for the tours.
Okay, so that's my question. What room here? Where do we meet for the tour? What schools do we?
The tour is just going to be Jay and I.
Why? And who made that
Because
decision?
that's what the consultant said.
I don't recall a consultant saying that. The consultants have consistently said it's your decision, meaning our decision as a board. I'm sorry, this is a 9-person board, not a 2-person board.
I understand, but I don't know how we can use a 9-person tour.
Well, first of all, we certainly could do a 9-person tour because
Well, we
there's
have
a
that
reason
plus.
for this, but also I'm sure we all could meet it. I guess I'm a little bit disappointed and not really understanding how we're not receiving communication that is definitive in its format and instruction. And I certainly don't ever recall having a conversation, granted I missed our last regular meeting, about who would be doing the tours. And it's not right to have made the decision that it would only be you and Jeff without a conversation with the board. I think so too.
They would just have to go to one, you have to go to all.
I don't agree with that either. We work. If you can go to something, you can go to something. I mean, this is as much about,
But the point is, you don't want to, if you have a favorite, to just go to that person's tour.
this is as much about selling the employee on us as it is about us getting to know the employee. So if as a board, we can make a good impression by showing our support to any and all candidates, we should do it. I think we have to stop saying it needs to be exactly the same for each candidate because that's not practical with 9 volunteers, most of whom work.
No, I agree, but if Ed and Jay are going to all 4, he can't go to just one.
Why?
You have to go to all.
Why?
Go ahead.
What
Kristen,
I
go on.
recall was the direction from the consultants was that Ed has to go off.
because as the chair, it looked like favoritism. I don't think the rest of us received that direction. I had made the suggestion to the group about having our student reps participate. I don't know, I know I had further conversation with Jay about that. I don't know, apparently that's not happening, but I have received information about that.
We have now heard back from Jim Foyne on that because we wanted to ask about the liability questions of transport cars and students in cars. And I do know that, what's his name, Tim is going to use the town car to do the tour with myself, Jay, and the candidate. We did not hear back from Jim Foyne about how the students were going to meet us there or not. But the consultants did say to make it a consistent tool. And I know you don't like it.
It's not about what I like.
Well, yes, it is.
No, it isn't. It's about no discussion being had on the process that we've been embarking on in a month. And Mrs. Widow is correct, and the consultant said to us as a board that our board chair needed to be at none or all, because the board chair is perceived as having more power over the process. That did not mean that anything that happens has to have all the same people for dinner as well as for tourists. Because there are very few of us who could have taken off all of the hours. And I can do the tour on Wednesday, not Tuesday, and I would like to do the tour on Wednesday. And quite frankly, I don't even know what interviewing is going to be on Wednesday. So it's clearly not about favorites. It's about, I would like to participate in this process because we're a 9-member board, not a 2-member board. Too much of this has happened without discussion of the board, and we're down to the line now. So I feel like whatever exposure our candidates can have to us as committed board members and that we can have to them, we have. And so I'm giving my views on candidate 3, and Kristen has her views on candidate 2. That's what this is all about, collaborating.
Anyone else?
So we're spending each of the tour on Wednesday.
We're starting here.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
We know where we're ordering dinner from. It's not been arranged.
I have left that to Wanda.
I believe that Jay is taking turn of that. And we're reimbursed was the last item. It was getting very complicated with trying to figure out how many people and who, what, and where, and not. I mean, that's not something I'm involved in.
Right.
And he had volunteered. So we had a conversation with Pat Boyle this morning. And said that he would take care of that and we would reimburse him. Sorry.
And we haven't even been told as to who of us are attending those dinners.
But that's why we ducked out of it, because those
Right,
are
absolutely,
regular
yeah.
business.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
she just needed to know how many chairs we needed around the table for the interview process that itself would have to plan.
It's going to be availability of who can be there for dinner.
And I understand that, but in a professionally organized interview process, you are contacted and board members and all interviewees would have been asked, please let us know if you're able to make dinner on this night, there's 2 sessions of dinner on tomorrow night, and we haven't received any of that.
Mr. Chairman,
But
with respect to Kristen's concern, then that would generate a question for me as to should it have been Ray and Associates who surveyed the board member and provided a more detailed agenda, letter of events, what have you, or would they have delegated that to you just as a matter of course? I share some of Christian's concern, because what we have is what was generated by the headhunters, by Molly, and what she sent to our board email. This is very incomplete with respect to where, how, when, well, the when is here. There are details missing that would normally be in a course of events for a given day and the participants, which would have either been solicited by her or delegated to you to determine who would be available for lunch, dinner, etc. It is incomplete. I would say, honestly, that it doesn't seem as though it should be. Any other questions?
Yeah, I don't know what you want them to do or me to do.
I thought that we would be able to go on different tours. So both tours, there's a district tour at 11:30 tomorrow. There's two district tours, one at 10:15, one at 11:30. And then the district tour on Wednesday is so as mentioned, I can do the tour on Wednesday, but I cannot do the tours tomorrow. Are any board members interested and available for touring tomorrow? I will be interested in that day. And do we know the nature of the meet and greet with the admin team and how that will play out and who's been invited to that?
Mr. Strello,
Go ahead.
Mr. Strello asked me, actually, Ed and Joe both sent me an email Thursday night asking me to invite the administrator, so I sent it out. Inviting the district administrator, so the assistant principals, director of food services, and myself. To the 5:45 tomorrow night, and then 7:45 tomorrow night, and then 5 to 5:45 on Wednesday. You know, as the administrators are on vacation, I don't know for sure. I know I have one administrator reach out to me today and say that that person is planning on being there. I could be there.
Do you know what the nature of the meet and greet is? Just facilitate the meet and greet.
Consult?
Do we have a consultant here, Ray's going to be here?
Yes.
Is Ray also doing the introductions in person for us, or is that going to be Zoom, Molly on the screen?
And I'm not sure.
I was asked was security, so I was assuming that they're.
Well, I know there are going to be people here, but my question is, do you know who is introducing the candidate to the people who will be in the room, and then who's conducting the question and answer? They're going to be in person, right? And I think he's the only local consultant.
Dr. Ramos.
Dr. Ramos, whatever, I apologize. So he's going to be in person conducting Q&A for all three, or all five, actually. There's 5 community sessions.
Yeah, yeah.
5, 6, right, sorry, 6. So, but my question is, do we know for sure that Dr. Ramos is going to be here in person conducting all 6 community sessions?
It's going to be someone from the associates. Dr. Ramos, that's right.
Okay, because Molly said she was gonna do them via Zoom, and I questioned, does that work well, and you still need someone in person to introduce them, and I don't know that we really need to get started. And is it in this room? Because again, there's no locations here. It just says Seymour Middle School, in the auditorium. Are we really gonna Zoom? We have,
Ron, you had.
So I sent the laundry list to people person and called up Friday morning. I called Tim to go on tours. So Tim Connors will join the tour group. They suggested I have security here, so I was just assuming 3 people. So Rich Kearns will be here to kind of monitor the people because until that executive order may or may not be moved, it will move next July 20th. Passed. And I talked to Rob, and Rob is arranging, and he's gonna get back to me. I haven't heard from him yet, but he promised me that either he or Derek or somebody would be available to help with speakers and audio and microphones, as well as any recordings that we can post them on the website. So I emailed it to them and I spoke to them verbally Friday morning, all before 9 o'clock. So those pieces have been organized, but I don't have final details. They were, I said, really, I mean, it's not really me, so I asked them to communicate directly with them. And I'm sure they have. I don't know.
I appreciate, because I agree, it wasn't, it's not like in your thing, so I can
I'm
very
happy
much
to do whatever you need to do.
Happy to do that.
Go ahead, bud.
Maybe it's worthwhile after the conclusion of the meeting, make a phone call to. Comments, questions? Not a mistake.
Right, exactly like that.
Not meeting, because it's not meeting.
And that's great, I have to do that this meeting tonight.
Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, business manager vacancy. Is that on?
Sure, we continue to interview on an ongoing basis, and we continue to have a new action today. So we continue to interview, at this point, I'm kind of hoping that after this week, for you all, perhaps, we be able to touch base and we'll have a better idea of where we're headed with your timeline. And we can maybe see how that will line up with the interview process. They would have graciously agreed to not be the same.
So that basically we want to pause.
Oh, no, we're not on pause. I'm going to continue to interview. I'm going to continue to interview. The second round of interviews where they're performance-based tasks, it could just be time-wise that we might be able to have those occur when, we have an opportunity. At this point, I'm continuing to say it won't be this week, but probably.
Are we suffering a shortage of candidates, or is there too much government money out there to stay home and not work?
This is the shortage area. There's a great area.
I was joking, of course. In some circumstances.
You have, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I thought I'm recruiting.
Yes.
There was one that pulled out.
Out of how many candidates?
8. 8.
So 7 of the 8 are not acceptable. That means you lack experience.
Yes. Infinite.
Thank you.
not a question of salary.
I don't think so. I think your salary is appropriate for your size of your district. I don't think that's it. No. Is that a problem?
Our neighboring community, right, they do services. That's so. Any other questions on this? Okay, going on to the chairman's comment. I want to give full credit to Jay Hatfield for the idea of the Dunkin' Donuts for the staff. Says that he pushed me to do that. We got positives. I've received a couple of thank you letters, and some separate emails from staff. And it was a nice experience to go around seeing them. We actually went out on those schools.
We didn't get any donuts.
Huh?
We didn't get it done.
It was hot dog chickens. Okay, that's all the. What about the time? What about the time? Last time. Okay, moving on to superintendents. This is Tennyson.
Just a few things, our summer hiring has begun for several certified non-certified positions, so although our administrators are on vacation, they are working sporadic days here and there and are very busy interviewing. We have some board members, thank you very much, that are joining us on the assistant director of the services interview tomorrow. That's an administrative position, so we'd like 1 or 2 board members to be present for that. That first round, we in the second round. Those final candidate or candidates come in person. We received notification just recently about the press that our state assessment results for the students who participated in the Lost Links, Smarter Balanced, and NDSS in person were just released for district level review. The data for the students who participated remotely will be released in another few weeks, and more to come. We haven't even started to crack that open. I just notified the administrators today that they were available. And excited to be. Our summer programs are in full swing. Our enrollment numbers, we were a little nervous. I mentioned to you our teachers are tired, our students are tired, but I'm excited to share with you that our numbers are really nice. Our ESY currently has 88 students in it for our extended school year. Our ELL program has 13 students in it. Our summer literacy program has 31 students in it. Those are the elementary, much K1 and 2, maybe some third grade students. Our summer math, which is new for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students, has 35 students. And our secondary summer school offerings, which are combined for 7 to 12. Our math has 13, our English has 17, and our science has 1 to 3, depending on who is other. Our art ESSER grant will be due in the experience.
And those numbers, is that higher? I have no context to put it in. So is that higher than last year? Is it?
They're a little bit lower, but not anywhere near as low as we thought perhaps they would be. So that is a good idea. I provided that context. The third grant that we received, the Art ESSER 2 grant, or the Art ESSER 3 actually. The first level of ideas generated from administrators in central office for the 20% that's set aside, required set aside for academic impact of learning loss. They've all submitted ideas that far expend that about $450,000. So we're going to get some public feedback on that. And I meet with the first select woman next week to discuss our partnership with Tim Connors of trying to secure HVAC for Bellevue and for the rest of the preschool with the largest chunk of those funds. So what will happen is once I meet with the first select woman, we'll sit down. That Tim and I have talked, he's talked first, we don't think that's a problem, they need to contribute some of their investor grant funds as well in order to get that covered. If that works, that's we'll put that out to the community, as well as dear community, here's a few of our top priorities. What are you thinking, and what areas do you have? And we are trying to obtain a little bit of their feedback. And then I will be very busy writing that over that. So I'm gonna work on that, and then we're also carefully watching July 20th. I heard, I think that that's what is July 20th. Currently, the governor's executive order requiring masks in schools and daycares expires July 20th, and whether it is unless it's removed. So we're carefully watching that, and in fact, the the CDC had put out a statement on July 9th saying masks are required, and I checked right away with Jess, Christy, and Becky, and Jess said, no, stay the course for now until we receive more guidance. So every 3 weeks, it's every other week now, Connecticut and Department of Health and Safety webinar series that I will be attending is moved from tomorrow until next Tuesday, so that they can really be on top of whatever that guidance might be. So I would definitely keep everybody apprised of that. And just a little positive news, Stacey Albertson, our assistant principal at Chapel Christie, had a baby girl. It was Olive Meredith.
Oh, nice.
Yep, she's just a few weeks old, and she's already up to 8 pounds. Little peach fuzz that's strong. That's all.
Questions? Go
I
ahead.
have one question as it pertains to the summer school programs for the secondary students, particularly the high school. I don't know if credit recovery is included in the numbers that you provided. But is it the case that we are asking students who need to recover science and math credits, their families need to pay $495?
There was no charge this year.
Thank you, because there was an email that went out that said there was a charge.
So there was a charge?
Yes.
There was some charge. I'll check on
Okay, that's great, thank you.
Okay.
And one of my fears is that prevented some students from,
I'll check on that.
that's great, thanks.
Yep.
Any other questions? I have a question, and Kristen jogged it a little bit, but anyway. The high school recovery courses are held at the high school?
These are all those here.
Okay. Well, that's into my question then, because I'm concerned that we continuously use same buildings for our programs, and I think that beats up buildings. For example, the rec program at Bunny School, the extended here, and then, the chapel we use for something also. And I would like us to rotate, and I wish we could, and I'm thinking back to when I was chair of the rec commission. The playground used to be held at Gary Park or Sheffield Park, not at our school buildings. There are kids, I understand that, but, we beat the buildings up. We don't give any rest to the buildings, not the buildings of people, but it would be good, it would be easy for our janitors. They didn't have to worry about having 300 kids come when it rains into the building, and then dirty is what they may have cleaned already. So, I've been trying to mull my head, do I go to the rec commission, or do I send somebody to the rec commission and say, can you hold it someplace else? We always have to do it.
I can speak to that. I mean, it used to be at Chapel and Bungay, there were 2 separate locations for the sites.
When I'm going back even further, Kristen, when I was on the chair, it was at Geary Park, and it was a check.
That's what I just said.
When you said Bunny School.
I think that. So Chapel Park, that's because there was 2 locations. The
Correct.
town could not sustain 2 locations. It was too expensive. And the other part of that was at the time of rain, camp was canceled. So, we made this decision as a board. We voted to allow summer camp to be at Bungay, in the middle of Chapel Park and Gary Park, and it allowed them to have camp every day, regardless of the weather. So I understand what you're saying, but I'm not in favor of asking the town to find somewhere else to move summer recreation camp, because really the school building is the only appropriate place to do it, and only school is the most centrally located. So I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I mean, it's just part of what we do as a town, is to let our town people use our buildings.
I would agree, given the weather we've been experiencing the last few summers, having kids that they can't experience without shelter is something that I would not have.
Any other questions for the superintendent? Okay, move on to the information. See, there's certified resignations. Having three resignation, and we have a second public comment. Second public comment. Speak. Who had shaken up? Okay. And then the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Second.
I felt